traveling abroad. I guess that's it for me. I've been here for 3 weeks, I guess. So, and to be honest, I feel like TNT is great. That's it.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with you. I've been here since 2020, so it's because I feel comfortable. I feel like home. And you, Yasmin?
So my name is Yasmin. I'm 20 years old. I live in São Paulo. I work as a teacher and I'm learning about digital marketing. I'm trying to learn French here on TNT too. And I think that's all.
It's never all. We are much more complex than this. So for presentations, it's very good. So I am Tamis. I'm from Minas as well, but south of Minas. I've lived in Belo Horizonte and I really like this city. And I think it's my favorite city in Brazil, actually, the capitals and so on. I'm a nutritionist, dietitian, and I'm an artist. And currently, I am an English teacher as well. So let's start to the first question. What images are in your mind when you hear the word accent? Yasmin, what image do you have in your mind?
The image that comes to my mind is like the way that the person talks and like where they come from, like their identity, you know. So yeah.
And for you, Mateus?
Rafael, well,
sorry.
No problem. That's okay. When I hear the word accent, well, I lived in Germany for 1.5 years, and while I was there, I could meet like lots of people from all over the world. So when I hear the word accent, those people faces comes to my mind. So like Mexican, I have a friend from Mexico, and German, I have couple friends there. So their faces just show up in my mind.
Yeah, for me, it's more about, it's about people I know from other countries and cultures, not just countries, but cultures. But for me, it's myself when people say, when I'm speaking Portuguese, people say, where are you from? I'm from Minas, but you don't say things like Mineiro. So I do, because in Minas we have like, I don't know, at least 5 different accents just in that state. So if you are from south of Minas, you speak more like people from from São Paulo, central São Paulo. If you're from north, you speak more like people from Bahia. If you are in, so it's a mix. So it's about identity, as you said. So as Yasmin said. And I think that's it. When people cannot identify that I'm from Minas, I feel sad. I feel really sad. I say cafezinho, pão de queijo. Please. I would like to be from Minas, so that's that's it. What do you think of your accent in your mother tongue and other languages? Rafael, what do you think of your own accent?
My accent is a little bit twisted, I guess, because although I am Mineiro, I've lived for over than 16 years in Salvador, Bahia. So it's a bit of a mix, you know, between the two accents, and I feel like I change a lot of my accent when I'm speaking, depending on how I'm feeling and my emotions at the moment. So it varies from Mineiro to Baiano, and it is interesting, I guess. Speaking of other languages, I don't know. I've never paid attention when I'm speaking a different language. Like when I'm speaking English, I try to emulate what like Native Americans how they speak, you know. And I also speak German, so when I'm speaking German, I try to emulate also how they speak. And apparently, I have a specific accent from the region I was living when I was there. So it's also interesting.
It's interesting because we think, sometimes we don't think we have an accent, like, oh, and people say you have accent from, because my husband was speaking Portuguese with Portuguese people yesterday, and he said the name of the guy was Tiago, and the guy said, you speak as a Brazilian, because they don't say chi, they say ti. So he said, yeah, he was very proud of himself, like they noticed my accent is Brazilian. He said, oi, Tiago. The only thing he said in Portuguese was that. And he was very proud. I think that's very interesting. And for you, Yasmin?
It's really difficult because I think like my accent changes a lot depending of the people that I'm talking to, because I get the accent. So like sometimes I'm talking with my grandmother and like she is from Pernambuco, and I start to get her accent and talk in the same way as she. And like I've heard from other people that they think I was from Paraíba because of my accent speaking in Portuguese. And about like other languages, when I'm speaking English, I feel that I know more about like American accent because it's something that I'm studying more. So when I listen more to this, but it's the same thing. Like if I watch a video from an Indian person talking, I will get the accent. So yeah, it changes a lot.
Same here. I get accents very, very easily. Very, like when I'm talking to people here, I talk more like them. So I sound more like that and my general life. But when I'm speaking with Portuguese, Brazilian people, I talk like that more than my Brazilian voice. So it's interesting. How can it change? So I do and I say water. I say not water, as I said. And I think I don't have people. You have a good accent. I don't know when I'm speaking English. When I'm speaking Portuguese, I speak more. It's a mix because I've lived in Belo Horizonte and I've lived in Ceará. I've lived, my family's from São Paulo. And my area, the area I am from in Minas, people speak, there are lots of cariocas. So it's something, you know. So I can go in some place to another very easy. Like I can speak like cariocas easily, as like I don't say things like arreda. I didn't know what I mean before Belo Horizonte. What do you mean with arreda? What do you mean with that? But yeah, it is interesting. But I'm trying to find my accent speaking Spanish. I don't know. I like the Colombian accent, and I like the accent from Venezuela. I don't know how to say this in English. Venezuela. Anyway, but I don't like the Spanish accent from
Too
Spain.
much S?
Yeah, I don't like the Spanish from Spain. I don't like Portuguese from Portugal. I think it's weird. So but I'm trying to find out what is my accent in Spanish. Maybe it's Brazilian accent. I think that's pretty much right. have you been told you speak with an accent? What have other people said about your accent? Yasmin.
Yeah, like as I said, like in Portuguese, some people think that like I'm from Pernambuco or sometimes from Paraíba, but like in English, a long time ago, I started to study more about American pronunciation, and like every day I watched a video about like some letter. And when I started one class, a student said to me, "Oh my God, you are too American talking." And like I hate it, and I just stopped it to do this because I want that people like hear me talking and oh, like she's Brazilian, you know, so
Yeah, so people sometimes think they are complimenting us, but I don't know, some people like it. Like it sounds more American, sounds more British, sounds more Australian. I don't know. But for me, I think I'm losing my identity when they say that. When I started here on TNT, I was like 2 years just speaking English without speaking Portuguese at all, just with my family on like audio or FaceTime. But the daily just English. And when I when I attended the first meeting here, people said, "Oh, please say Harry Potter. You have an accent." And I said, I didn't notice until there, you know, because that's well my daily life. Nobody said you have an accent, so they said I have a Brazilian accent or I sound like foreign, but never I had a British accent. So it's something interesting because we notice when we are out of the space the place you used to. So yeah, I stopped. Harry Potter. I don't know how to say Harry Potter in America. Harry Potter, water, girl. I cannot talk like that anymore. I'm sorry. World, like California, like very from films and series. Rafael, what about you?
When I'm speaking Portuguese, yes, I've been told that I have an accent. And just like I said, people can see how my accent is like a mashup of a Baiano accent and a Mineiro accent. And when I'm speaking English, I usually hear that my English is okay. I only have like small bits of accent, of like Portuguese accent or Brazilian accent, so to say. And when I'm speaking German, people, the people I know that are natives, they tell me that I have this specific accent from this region where I lived. It's like North Bavaria, which is called Franconia. I guess that's in English. So I have a Franconian accent, so to say. They usually tell me that. I've heard that. I was actually reading that because I find accents quite interesting. And I was reading this article, and it was written that accents have a relationship with muscular memory. So once you hear people speaking like you, it's like you eventually try to either emulate or just, imitate how they speak. It's natural. So it's and probably if you don't speak a language for a while, you will lose that accent. But eventually, if you start speaking in this specific region where your accent was built, so to say, you get it back. It's just like muscular memory.
Yeah, exactly this. As a singer, is the same. If we stop singing, you lose. It's not that you don't know how to sing anymore, but you don't have your muscles are flaccid, like they are not trained. You have to work out your voice muscles. I don't know that if that's the name, but that's quite right. I would skip to the number 5. No, number 7, and then we come back, okay? So how do you deal with different accents? It can be in English, it can be any language you speak. How do you deal? Like for you, it's easy to understand at first, or you take your moment to get into. How do you deal? Yasmin?
Yeah, like for me, it's not so easy to understand some because like I'm not used to hear, but I try. Like I need to listen to the person talking maybe like for 1 hour, like to get what they are saying, because sometimes we think that people are saying things too fast, but they are not. And like this makes me like get confused about, but it's something that I know how to deal. Like I try to understand the person. I ask to repeat some things that I don't understand.
Yeah, so you deal well with this, like it's not a problem. I remember the first time I talked to Scott, and the Scottish accent is so hard. It's like, and I think this woman is mocking me. because the three me angry this chapter they talk like the regular like what I think what I saw. I'm very ignorant at the time. I thought she thought I was Indian, and then she was doing this accent to me to understand what she was saying. But she is just, and I went to Scotland after that, and they talk like that, and they say "tree," so, you know, angry. I said, why? That's the way they, and as I have the experience before, when I arrived there, I know how you guys speak English, so I get you. So, but at the first, I thought she is mocking me. She's mocking me. It's not possible because she doesn't look Indian. She has not the thing. It was in a very formal situation, you know, like in the bank. And I thought, okay, maybe because I'm Black, she thinks I am like kind of brown, and she thinks I am Indian, but it wasn't. She was just a Scot. And yeah, you have to learn how people. You have to listen. Listen is the key. Rafael, how do you deal with different accents?
Well, I try to pay more attention to what people are saying. I try to be an active listener, you know, like when the person's telling me a story, I try to ask many questions about what they're saying, not like questions that are like, what did you say? No, I just try to keep up with the story so I can really like check on my head if I'm getting it correctly, you know, like, oh, really? Did that happen? Something like that. I feel like it helps me a lot. And I guess that's the best way I could find on dealing with different accents, because to me, it is quite hard to understand, especially people from Asia, because, well, they have a unique pronunciation of some vowels and consonants, so it's very hard, it's challenging to talk with them. So you have to be really focused in order to understand all they're saying.
Yeah, I have problem with the Australian accent because they say things. I know it's my limitation, but I tried to watch a lot of videos with comedians, Australian comedians, and from New Zealand, because they have an accent very different. It's something like really tortured me sometimes. They say, instead they say paper, they say piper. What's it? I know pipe. I know paper. Like piper. What's going on there? So you have to actually listen to get what is the difference. What is the difference between your understanding and their communication? So that's it. It is like sometimes I don't know English anymore. I know nothing. You feel like all the years you're studying and speaking, practicing, it just. But then you get in the thing again. Let's see. Number 5. How does accent affect identity? Rafael, how does affect the identity?
In my opinion, an accent is crucial. Like, it's almost like if it was written in your DNA. It shows you where you come from, and it shows people your roots, I guess. So in my opinion, avoiding accents is a bad thing, because it could lead you to forget somehow from where you came in a certain way. So in my opinion, it affects directly your identity. It is important, in my opinion. So it's, even if you could get rid of your accent, it wouldn't be totally nice, I guess, because I don't know, it would be a different personality, in my opinion. So it has a direct impact in your identity.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think when, as you said, you have a blended accent, like I do as well. And when I don't think I lost my identity when I have another identity. So when I speak Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese, as Mineiro, Carioca, from Ceará and everything, it means I have the Brazilian accent in a way. It's not very specific, but I can be identified as I don't know how to explain this. It's interesting. At the same time, you are not identified by your peers. You can be identified from people outside. I don't know if
it makes you unique, right?
Yeah, that's that's what I'm trying to say. Like Yasmin said the same, like about her grandmother, about her accent. That's very interesting, because Yasmin's from São Paulo. We have a group of friends in São Paulo, and you don't speak like them. You don't speak like Bruno. You don't speak like Phil. You speak like you're from São Paulo, but somehow I know you were from São Paulo, but there's something unique on you that's interesting. And for you, how does it affect, how accent affect identity?
Yeah, I think it's like a document, like when people get your accent, maybe they will know a lot about you, or maybe not. Like, people will know how they can communicate with you. Like, some Brazilians will like to, I don't know how to say this, but touch, so you can find, okay, this person likes this, but if it's from other culture, maybe they don't like, so I will avoid it. So I think it's a way to find out how you can communicate with the other person.
It's a good point, because when people when they find out I am Brazilian, they start touching me more, and they don't like it. I do not like. I like the English way. Don't touch me, please. But because we have this stereotype, like And that's true. That's true. We hug like unknown people. Like I ask, and now I ask people if they can I hug? Because some people here they hug, some people they kiss, and I never know. But I noticed the people start to touch me, but it's not just touching; it's touching in a sexual way. Like that's, I think, like okay, I can be more. I don't know, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I no. In Brazil, I didn't like it. So it's not it's not because you hug someone, it means you want to something else. So yeah, but it can be a good thing. It can be a good thing. Just my experience as a Brazilian woman, um, as a Latin woman, people think you can be, you're easy. That's the thing. Is an accent a language barrier? How can accents overcome language barrier? Yasmin.
Yeah, I think it can be, but it depends on you. Like if you are not open to understand the other, it's a barrier for you. Like one teacher told me that you are doing like the 90%, you are talking other language, and the person is doing like 1% that is trying to understand you. If they don't want to understand, they will not. So I think it depends about the other person. If they are open to understand you.
Yeah. I agree. Some people, mainly people, the people who speak English, they don't speak a second language because everyone speaks English pretty much. The world speaks English, so everything is from them, for them. And you like probably Rafael went to Germany and they speak English there. In France they speak English there. So other countries has English as a second language, but places like England, like native English speakers, they don't have a second language. Some countries, of course, like Canada and so on. But many countries, they just speak English. And I always say to my friends here, you just speak English? I'm horrible. It's the only language you speak. Because I speak three. I'm a four. And I have a friend, she started to learn Spanish because I said, "Oh, I was talking about," and she will come to TNT soon. Because I thought, "Oh, sorry, you just speak English." That's my way to deal with them. Oh, sorry for you. Sorry for your limitation. It's kinda. I don't say like that, but poor thing. And for you, Rafael.
It's funny what you said because when I was there in Germany, I've met some Americans and they were good people, like good folks, and they eventually became my friends. But as soon as German classes were over, they started speaking English, which I found quite interesting. Like you're in a country, a different country than yours, you're supposed to learn their language because it was the main goal of everything, but they wouldn't make any effort to keep speaking the language. That was so sad because I really wanted to speak with them in, like, it would be a how can I say that, a balanced way to speak, right? Because we're both trying to speak a language we do not what's the word, we're not fluent, so it would be fair to speak both of us in German, but they just wanted to speak in English. That's just sad. Like, okay, let's speak Portuguese right now because I own Portuguese. That would be fair, right? Since they're always changing to English. But sorry about this. I was just remembering some stuff. But about the question, I think an accent shouldn't be a barrier. Like, it shouldn't make you feel less of yourself. I don't know if that's the correct way to say that, but I've seen those American friends of mine mocking other people for not speaking a proper English, so to say, which was also sad because they were at least trying to speak another language, right? Which they were not fluent, but people were still mocking them. And I've seen that people usually mistake accent with the process of learning the pronunciation, you know. So once you make yourself understandable, so to say, like you can pronounce the words correctly, accent shouldn't be a concern, you know. It shouldn't be a barrier, but sadly, I guess it is nowadays.
Yeah, it is for some people because while you were talking, I was remember when my husband were living in Brazil, and people didn't want to speak with him in Portuguese, so he didn't have the opportunity to learn because every opportunity people want to use him to practice their English, and that's okay, I understand. But when he was starting to speak Portuguese, people treated him as, oh, so cute. It wasn't cute. It just wrong. And it doesn't happen with us. People don't say, oh, you were speaking wrongly. So cute. I don't think that's right, you know, because you think two things. He didn't like because I'm not a child. The second thing, I was stop because I didn't mean to be cute. I was trying to communicate what I wanted, and it's another barrier. So I think what you said about pronunciation is right. You have to. I try to build global pronunciation, like clear, but accent. I have more than one. So speaking English. So, but I want to be clear. Like if someone from India want to speak English with me, they can understand me. If Asian from like China or from Australia or from Canada or from Brazil, any place, of course, I cannot do everything, but I try to be like neutral, non-neutral accent, neutral pronunciation, but median, like everyone can understand pretty much. But it shouldn't be a barrier. So grow your pronunciation. It is a thing we should do, but change your accent, no really. Let's see. Okay, number 10. What's your favorite accent in your first language and other language you speak? Yasmin.
Oh, this is difficult. I really don't know in my first language. Yeah, I don't know. Because I love all, but maybe, yeah, I don't have one. I can choose just one. But other language that I speak, like I said, I'm trying to learn French, and I love to hear like African people talking in French. Like I think it's so beautiful, you know, and I can understand more. So yeah, I think that's it.
And for you, Rafael?
I love the accents from Nordeste, you know, from I don't know, Recife, Fortaleza. So I feel like they're amazing. They sound good. I really love hearing people with those accents. And the other languages you speak. Well, English, for me, the best accent would be the Scottish English accent. I really like how they sound, although I cannot understand them. I also enjoy hearing the British speaking. I find that quite formal, and you know, it's so fancy. It's cool. And from German, there's a region called Baden-Württemberg, which has a specific accent. I don't know the name in English. It's Schwäbisch in German. And Schwäbisch sounds like a Carioca trying to speak German, which I found quite amusing and cute. So it's my favorite accent in German.
Yeah, in Portuguese, I said I didn't like Portuguese from Portugal because they have no vowels, pretty much. They don't say any vowel, just the consonant. And from Brazil, I like the accent Angolian. I don't know how to say from Angola. I really like it. It sounds like music. And from Paraíba, I think it's the I fell in love when I heard someone speak with a Paraibano accent. Arabian, I don't know. I think I don't know. It's beautiful, beautiful. And in English, Jamaican accent. I like it. I really like it. In Spanish, yeah, Colombia, Venezuela. I don't like the Argentinian accent. I think it's maybe because I had a boyfriend from Argentina. Maybe that's the problem, but I don't think it's the most beautiful. Yeah, these ones. And I like from the Scotland as well, because it is fun. The way they say it is fun. Like okay, you can say you are angry. I was working with a Scottish woman, and she said regularly. I know. Please say again. Please say again. Regularly. Beautiful.
They sound like they're always pissed off with something, right?
Yeah,
or they're
yeah.
out of time. They're like, oh my god, I have to go there right now. And it's so interesting.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 or 3. It's beautiful. I love it. And I think the number 11 is quite answered. But the number 9, how can an accent affect your lifestyle? Do you think the way you speak can affect how people see you? Why or why not? We talk more or less about it. And well, what do you think?
I think just like I can't remember right now if it was you who said it or Yasmin, but once people realize you're from the specific place, they put a stamp on you, like, I know something about you, and then they change how they communicate with you, or maybe the things they talk to you about. So it affects your lifestyle, because people will tend to portray you in a different way, based on where you come from. And I think that's it. People also see you differently, as if you were the foreigner who might leave eventually. And that's funny, because like I experienced this myself when I was in Germany. I was the one who was about to leave eventually, so I wasn't supposed to be a good friend, or to make friends, to be friends with them, because I would eventually go away. I feel like if you have an accent, you're always that French friend of mine. You're always this Brazilian friend of mine. You're not the person who lives there. You're the foreigner.
I've learned something here in England when I arrived, because we learned when we were learning English, like ask people, where are you from? But the first lesson I had here was like, never ask, where are you from? If you are here in England, ask, are you from, if I'm London, are you from London? Because you cannot assume that person is not English just because their accent, because it's a multicultural country. They can be like in a family, Indian family, Asian family, Brazilian family, but living here for like centuries, and they have their accent and the features, you know. So you can sound racist, xenophobic. So I always say to my students, don't ask. It's the same thing, you know. But when you say, where are you from, you are assuming that person is not from here. So it can change your lifestyle, I think. It was not a good lesson at the time, but I've learned. I've learned in the hardest way, but I did. So, Bruna, how's the conversation about accents?
Really interesting and difficult at the same time. I loved the questions. Yeah, we couldn't answer everything. It was great. Yeah.
Great. Mateus.
Hello.
How was the conversation for you?
Oh, it was very interesting. I was with Vanessa and Ayla, and we have some interesting takes on the subject. It was great.
I have a question for you. What do you think of your accent? Your mother tongue or other language?
Yes, like I was talking to them. I think that in Portuguese, I don't notice my accent until I talk to people from other states. I am from Paraná, so there is some words that people notice that I speak every day, like porta, that has this have this strong R in it. But in English, I don't know. I think that I think I see a lot of similar accents like mine here in Talk and Talk. I think it's because we are all, not all, but most of the people are Brazilians learning English. So I think there is similarities between other people, and that's it.
Yeah, we can notice things like this guy. When I hear someone, I know you're Brazilian.
Yes.
There are things we say, not everyone, of course, but they say this. So
Yeah.
I was saying to people in the beginning, at the beginning, my husband doesn't speak much Portuguese, but yesterday he was talking to two Portuguese guys, and one of the names was Tiago, and he said, "Oi, Tiago," and the guy, "You sounds like Brazilian people." Tiago. The Portuguese people wouldn't say chi, they say Tiago. I know that. So that and you transferred to English, we transferred these kinds to other languages, and that's what it is, how it is. Gabi, do you think you speak English with the Mineiro way, or you think you lost your identity in Belo Horizonte? And
No,
I think you have a.
I have. I always have. I said that in the breakout room. My accent in my mother tongue is so strong. I don't know what terms if you lose the accent in BH, but it's so strong. In English, I do the same. Here in my mother tongue, I like eat some parts of the phrase. I always do that. And in English, I do too. So complicated because sometimes I talk a phrase and the end of the phrase I eat. And for me, the person understands. Like in Brazilian, the person understands. So, okay. But I guess I don't have a problem with my accent. As I said, I have a problem with some pronunciations. For example, TH, I have a problem with that in English. But I guess it's not something, it's a big problem. I understand other accents, the person understand me. But as you said, I have this too. I have that. It's lovely, okay?
I think it's I saw someone saying everything in Brazil is so happy. You say bom dia, it's not bom dia. Some accents in Brazil, but in Portugal it's bom dia. This is horrible. Your day not be good after that. Bom dia, ciao, Tiago. So festive, so parties. And anyway, I like it. And Jefferson, I have another question for you. How do you deal with different accents?
It's a tough question. It's very interesting. Because I must respect to be polite. But unfortunately, in the whole world, we have discrimination. If you go, for example, if you go to New York, the accent of New York, you have near New York, you have New Jersey, the accent is very different. If you go to Texas, the accent is very different. I think it's the same in Brazil. Here when we speak in English, it's very, very interesting because we can identify the accent from the guy from Pará. We have a guy here from Santa Catarina, it's different accent. And we have a guy from Piauí, and I from Goiás. So we have different kinds of accent. So you must be polite, but unfortunately, we have discrimination about accent, not just in Brazil, in the whole world.
You're right. Vanessa, do you think accents matter? The last question. Does accent matter?
Okay. Depends on where are you are, and because it matters only to understand, I think, because accent can be difficult to understand sometimes. And for example, in English, it's totally different, the British accent than the American accent, or the Italian accent in English. It's unbelievable. You notice that the guy is from Italy in the same word, and in Indian, wow, it's really difficult. So I think that accent matters to identify where are you from? And but sometimes it's difficult to understand in the first time, and you need to live some time with a person to adapt your hearing and their sounds, and you can understand. For me, it is, but I think that is important to identify. It's a culture. It's a way to identify where are you from, and I think that's beautiful because you can communicate for people everywhere, and I think that's important. But not matter. Oh, I am more important than you because I have a Brazilian accent, and you that. Chilean accent, for example. No, I think that is not the
everybody
point.
has an accent, so
yeah,
everybody.
Sure.
If you are native, you are not native, you have an accent. So you have an accent. When people say you have an accent, they say you too, because that's the truth. You have an American accent, and people have a Brazilian accent. You have from Texas, you have from California, you have from England, you have from anywhere. So you have an accent. So that's it. Guys, I have here on in the chat the feedback link. So if you have a time, please answer. And was a good conversation. Thank you very much for everyone who attended. And see you soon.
See
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.